The Leo and Danny show.
I'm pretty sure he was weird.
Cigar Guy lived in some sort of commune in Portland. You lived, am I telling the truth? You slept on the floor in a garage that 20 other people lived in the house, and you were in the garage, which is really the bitch spot outside of the cellar.
Well, I wasn't supposed. So we all lived in this this house venue. We'd have shows of some pretty cool bands.
This sounds awful. This sounds like Austin's nightmare.
No, it was great, man. It was great to live in while I was that young. Because I was just drinking, partying until 7 in the morning every morning, going to sleep, waking up. It was great for when I was young. Mm-hmm. But then it led that we moved out of that house, and then we moved into another house. They moved into another house. I moved into my own apartment. My fucking mental illness shit started acting up. My anxiety disorder started acting up. So I couldn't afford to rent that apartment anymore because I couldn't work. So I went and...
So anxious you couldn't work, huh?
Yeah, it was really bad. I started to get agoraphobia. I was having panic attacks nonstop.
Did you quit a job you had at the time, or you couldn't apply for a new job?
I quit a job.
What job did you have?
I was after-school art tutor for middle school kids.
Which is about the most laid-back job you could have.
I know, but it's
I can understand if you were a server.
I know, but
you had to approach a table of 20 and start taking orders.
It was a great job, but I didn't want to... I was having so many panic attacks, I didn't want to risk having a panic attack in front of a middle schooler and like having them see that shit.
How dark is a panic attack?
It's sketchy, dude.
What happens during your worst panic attacks?
You start hyperventilating, like uncontrollably. Your palms get all sweaty. It feels like your throat's closing and you can't catch a breath. It feels like you have a weight on your chest. The room's spinning, literally. Mm-hmm. It feels like there's electricity shooting up from your fucking toes into your head. And you just panic, dude. You literally think you're dying. But now if I have a panic attack, I know what it is. But back then, I had no idea what was fucking happening. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was dying. So I quit that job.
How much money did you have saved up when you quit that job?
No money. No money.
$200 in your bank account.
Not even that. I was living off nothing. I was seriously like nothing.
Sure.
It was rock bottom in my life. Mm-hmm. It was the worst as it got.
How many years ago?
This was in 2017.
Recent.
Yeah.
What happens then?
So I move out of that apartment into my friend's house, and I sleep in the garage, and it's wintertime, and it's Portland, and it's cold.
How many people in that house?
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What's your rent?
8. My rent was I think it was like $250.
How were you making that?
My dad was helping me out at that point because I was going through in and out of hospitalizations, like suicide attempts, all kinds of shit.
Sleeping on the floor in a garage probably didn't help.
No, it didn't help, but and it was freezing cold. So at that point, I went into treatment for 4 months for my panic disorder.
Did that involve your drug addiction or drug use too?
Well, so my drug use was me depending on Valium because the panic attacks were so insane. The anxiety was so insane that even if I wasn't having a panic attack, I felt like I was always going to. So I would take a Valium if I wanted to go get a coffee with my friends. And
did this treatment, did they give you any moves or any mantras to repeat to yourself to calm you down? The reason I'm asking is because I know there are other people in this room who deal with anxiety and thinking too much and having...
Well, probably a lot of people watching too.
I don't think I've ever had a full-on panic attack, but I've certainly dealt with anxiety. I've had bad weekends, bad weeks where I don't feel good, and I feel like I could use some guidance in getting myself into a more healthy mind frame. So what did they teach you that helped?
Well, a lot. This treatment was really cool. It was inpatient, so I was living in a sober house with some other guys, and the whole thing was, so 5 days a week we would do CrossFit. We'd wake up at 5 in the morning. Two of the days we would do MMA in the morning. We'd go do MMA, and then we'd go do CrossFit until like noon, and then
that helps. Physical exercise
helps.
Why exactly? And why CrossFit?
I gotta remember why exactly, but I know I think it's the endorphins it releases in your body.
Yeah.
And it's just, you exhaust yourself physically and mentally by doing so. So when you're not as like taut, you're not ready to go with a panic attack.
And you probably also have a degree of self-esteem because you got up early and worked out.
That's the biggest thing, because you wake up early, you have to make your bed.
Yeah.
You have to eat breakfast.
Yeah.
You go do the MMA, you're exhausted, but you don't give up. And then you go to CrossFit.
That's a couple of things you've done already. You've woke up early, you've made your bed, you've ate healthy, and you've worked out. So you have 4 things checked off your list before 9 a.m.
Exactly.
And it's hard to feel bad about yourself.
That's exactly it.
When you're doing that kind of shit early in the morning.
Yeah, and then the rest of the day is talking to a therapist for a couple hours, and then you go home at like 3, and then you just socialize with your housemates, and then you cook dinner, You're completely
being social.
It turned me from a child into an adult.
Yeah.
Because beforehand, like I said, I was staying up until 7:30, 8 in the morning, drinking, partying, not giving a shit. And then I'm waking up at 5 in the morning and doing all this stuff. And so I did that, and it helped my panic disorder a lot.
Yep.
And then I got on Lexapro, and that really helped. And then I got into a long-term relationship. That ended. Now I'm here, and I'm doing better than ever, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want anyone watching to know, because when I was in that cold garage having those panic attacks, I literally felt like my life was over, and I was contemplating suicide.
And now you're at live podcast smoking your own foreskin.
Exactly, dude. I'm literally, there's been so many times in my life where I wanted to kill myself, and then I look back, and I'm so grateful I didn't. So if anyone's out there dealing with that stuff, just do all the, do the stuff, like wake up early, work out, and it changes your fucking life. And I know you do all that stuff too, man. You started going to bed earlier. You don't drink. Yeah. And it's seriously.
Yeah. Listen, life is hard enough on 8 hours of sleep with a healthy diet.
It's crazy, man.
And so you don't need to add into the mix, at least not on a regular basis, hangovers, whether they be from drugs or cocaine. You don't need to add in a fucking 4-hour night of sleep. You don't need to add in 4 Big Macs and a Famous Star for your meal that day.
Exactly, man.
All of that shit is going to make it harder for you to be happy and productive.
Yeah, and read too. Reading is insane.
Yeah.
I love it. And there's so many good books out there that just completely change how you view life and yourself. And it's so important.
Like for me, when I first read The Secret, I felt changed.
Yeah.
For Austin, when he first read Mein Kampf, he felt changed. I actually read on the plane yesterday, and this really helped me too, that a lot of your mood, most of your mood, I can't give an exact percentage because I don't read very carefully, is dictated not by what's going on up here in your brain. It's actually dictated by how your body is moving.
Yeah.
So there's been a study that if you put a pencil in your teeth and you clamp it like this, you're stimulating the same muscles that you would if you were smiling, and people reported being more happy. And scans can show that more of the happiness chemical and areas of activity in the brain are being triggered when the muscles are engaged that indicate smiling. If you're
completely real.
If you're feeling depressed, not confident, sad, all you have to do is bring your shoulders back, stand up straight, smile, put your hands on your hips. Assume a posture of confidence. Assume a posture of contentment. And you will start to feel confident and content.
That's right. It's nuts.